Hello everyone. So let's start with the next topic, that is signal waveform. Okay, so in the last video lecture we have done the current source and voltage source. Okay, and we have seen the independent and practical voltage and current source. So here now we will go with the signal waveform. Let us see what do you mean by waveform. Okay, so waveform, as you can see in the diagram, waveform is a graphical representation of a magnitude of a quantity with respect to time, right? So you can see on the y-axis, on the x-axis there is a time, right? And with respect to that time, the value of the waveform will is increasing, then going to the maximum level, then again coming back to the zero, that is on the x-axis, then going in the negative, and this is how it is going, right? So on x-axis time is plotted, and on y-axis signal, maybe the signal represent voltage or current or power, right? Since we are talking about electrical quantity or electronic quantity, we are going with, we are taking the example like voltage, current and power. Okay, so on the y-axis maybe voltage, current or power is plotted. Okay, now the next one is the types of waveform. Okay, we have seen that waveform, but there are different types of the waveform. So the types of waveform depends on the shape of that waveform. Okay, so first one is a sine waveform. Okay, it is the most common waveform. Then second one is square waveform, right? You can see in the diagram, it's the shape of the waveform is in the square. Okay, then third one is a triangular waveform, triangle waveform, and fourth one is a sawtooth waveform. Okay, so it's a decreasing, it is increasing, and then it's again decreasing is a rapid, it directly goes to zero, then it's again increasing like this. Okay, so it's a sawtooth waveform. So all these are the different types of waveform, depends on the shapes and sizes. Next, let us do the terms related to waveform. Okay, so all these have repeated, we have done all these things in the chapter number 2. So here again we will go through these definitions. Okay, so let us see, first one is amplitude, which is represented by A. Okay, the maximum value or the peak value of the AC quantity. All right, we can say AC quantity or we can say the waveform, right? Look here, it's starting from 0 and then it's going to the maximum value, right? So the maximum value of that waveform, okay, is nothing but a amplitude, right? And if that signal represent current, then the unit of the amplitude will be ampere. Or if that signal represented voltage, then it will be a volt. Okay, if the signal will represented the power, then the unit of the amplitude will be watt. So depends on the depends that what, which quantity is represented by that signal, we can say the amplitude. Okay, next one is the frequency. The number of the cycle completed by the AC waveform in 1 second is known as frequency. Okay, so this definition also we have done in the chapter number 2. So it's similar. Okay, the number of the cycle. What do you mean by cycle? Okay, right. The cycle is, but you can see one positive and one negative waveform consists of one cycle, right? Means after that portion, again that portion is repeating. So we can say that one positive and one identical negative, that is next one, both will constitute one cycle. Okay, so the unit of the frequency is hertz. Next one is a wavelength. Okay, so wavelength, so it means the length of the wave. Okay, as simple as that. Wavelength means the length of that wave, how long is that wave. Okay, so wavelength is a physical length from one point of the wave to the same point on the next waveform. Okay, here you can see the diagram. Okay, that blue line, that blue line is nothing but that is completing one cycle. Okay, so the you can see the diagram, the top, that is the peak value of the first waveform, and then the same point, that is the next waveform, right? So between that length is nothing but the wavelength. Okay, it is drawn, you can see, it's very simple. Okay, so below are the two example, what do you mean by short wavelength and what do you mean by long wavelength. Okay, if the frequency is high, right, that is the time period is very low, right? So at that time you can see the short wavelength is very short wavelength, and in the low frequency it will be inverse, that is long waveform. Okay, so this is the definition of a wavelength. phase. Okay, phase is a very important concept which we have done in this. Again, we have done this topic in very detail. Okay, in the last, like in the last video, sorry, in the chapter number 2. Okay, so let us again understood what do you mean by phase. So phase is not a property of just one signal. Okay, but instead involves the relationship between two or more signals that share the same frequency, right? So we cannot say what is the phase of the of this waveform. Okay, we cannot say like that what is the phase of this waveform. We have to say what is the phase difference between these two waveform. Okay, so phase difference describes how much one sine wave is shifted relative to another. Okay, we will see, when we will see the diagram, we will clearly understood. If the peak of the two signal with the same frequency are in exact alignment at the same time, then they are said to be in phase. Okay, then we can say that the two waves are in the phase. For example, you can see here, okay, on the left hand side, in phase, see the diagram, see the waveform of the in phase. Okay, both waveform are starting from the same point, and both waveform attaining their maximum value, that is peak value, at the same point. Okay, then again both going to the down, and then again both, so they are in the perfect alignment. So we can say that the blue one and the red one are in phase. Okay, these two waves, suppose blue one is a and red one is a B, so we can say that A and B are in the same phase, or A or B in phase. Another different side, if the peak of the two signal with the same frequency, right, same frequency means they both should have the same time period, right? If the peak of the two signals with the same frequency are not in the exact alignment at the same time, then they are said to be out of the phase. Okay, you can see here, when the on the right hand side, see the diagram on the right hand side, when the signal is increasing and it is attending the top maximum level, red one is decreasing and it again attending the top, but in the maximum, but on the negative side, right? Top maximum level but in the negative side, right? So this is the inversely opposite. Okay, so we can say that these two waves are out of the phase. Okay, so this is nothing but in phase and out of the phase. Okay, I hope you got it. And for the more detail, you can refer to the chapter number 2. Okay, there we have done very detail. We have completed this topic in very detail. Okay, let us do next one, time domain and frequency domain. Okay, so the waveform, we can represent the waveform in the time domain also and in the frequency domain also. So let us skip this diagram, just see this one. Okay, so how the waveform can represent in time domain and frequency domain. So here the two waveform. Okay, the first waveform, which is in a pink color, that is on the top hand side, right, top side, which is on the top, starting at the 0, right, and see the peak value is 5 volt. Okay, it has denoted with the dotted line. Okay, and what is the frequency? Frequency is 6 hertz. Okay, so what is written? A sine wave in the time domain, peak value is 5 and frequency is 6 hertz. Okay, so the x-axis represent time and the y-axis represent the quantity. Okay, whatever it is. Here it is. Here they have shown it is a volt, right? That is why the peak value is 5 volt. And in the below that, we have seen, we can see the x-axis represent the frequency, right? Above the x-axis representing time in second, but below the x-axis representing the frequency, which is in the hertz. Okay, and here also, if you will see that, we are getting the waveform, we are getting the signal at the frequency 6, right? We are not getting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are getting in the 6. What does it mean? It means that this waveform, that this signal have the frequency 6 hertz. Okay, and what is the maximum level? The maximum level is 5 volt. Okay, so both the waveform have a same parameters. Okay, have the same values. The only difference, the first signal is representing time domain, right, and the second signal is representing the frequency domain. So in frequency domain, we don't need a continuous waveform, right, because on the x-axis we have frequency. Okay, so in this manner we can draw, or we can represent the two wave. Okay, so you can see, you can take any example. If you know the frequency and if you know the peak value, you can draw that signal either in time domain or in frequency domain, right? And if you know the time period also, then also, right? Because if you know the time period, you will inverse the time period and you will get the frequency. Okay, for example, if the time period is 10, so what do you mean by 1 upon 10? That is 0.1. So the 0.1 will be the frequency. Okay, so in this way, if you know the two values, peak value, that is maximum value, or frequency or time period, any one from these two, then you can represent the signal either in the time domain or in the both. You can represent the signal in time domain as well as in frequency domain. Okay, fine. So let's do next. Okay, now the next very important topic, integrated circuit. Okay, that is IC. Now what do you mean by integrated circuit? Okay, basically if you will see the voltage regulator, the circuit diagram of voltage regulator, or you will see the circuit diagram of filter or oscillator, or any signal or any, those circuits are very big in the size. Okay, so if you are making any electronic device, it is very difficult to implement that circuit in such devices. So for that purpose, what we do, we compress that circuit. Okay, we shrink that circuit. So the shrinkness or the compressedness of that circuit, that type of circuit is known as integrated circuit, right? Integrate means we are accumulating all the components in the single chip. Okay, so here, an integrated circuit, also known as IC, is a small chip that can function as an amplifier, oscillator, timer, microprocessor, or even a computer memory, right? Means any electronic devices. Okay, any electronic circuit can be converted into IC. Okay, it reduces the size of the electronic component to 1 raised to minus 10. Okay, it means 10 times, right? 10 times in inverse order, 10 times. Okay, so size or even the smaller as compared to the original circuit. Okay, so 1 raised to minus 10, right? That is 0.09 times 0 and then 1. That much time you can reduce the size of the circuit. Okay, so basically there are two types of AC circuit, ICs. First one is analog IC and second one is digital IC. Okay, so analog IC means the IC which will convert analog signal, right? Which will process or which will do the integration of analog signal, right? And in the digital signal we have a signal like 0 1 1 0, right? Okay, so analog signal we can give the 5 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, I mean different we can give the analog signal to the ICs. Okay, and see, this is an example of digital signal. Okay, this is an AND gate, AND gate, NOT gate, NOR gate. All these are the digital ICs, and their number is 7400. So you have to remember this this number. Okay, each IC has a unique IC number, right? Why they have a unique IC number? So that so that if we want to make one application, right, we can go to the manufacturer and we can tell them that we want IC number this, right? So they will find the IC and they will give us, and depending on that we can make our application or project. Okay, so okay, scale of the integration or level of the integration, right? So how much we can reduce. Okay, so depending on that reduceness, there is a different classification. First one is a small scale integration, so the logic gates, the best example. Then the medium scale integration, MSI, counter, gates and shift register. Okay, then the large scale integration, that is RAM, ROM. Okay, and then the very large VLSI integration, that is microprocessor. Okay, so you can see the microprocessor, that devices have a many functions. Okay, but all that functions are integrated on just one single chip. Okay, and that chip is responsible for the functioning of our computers, different functions. Okay, so what are the advantages of IC? Okay, so they are small in the size, right? Since they are small in the size, material cost, right? We require less materials and hence there is a low cost. Since it is a small in size, weight is also very light, right? Lightweight, high reliability, right? Because everything is fixed, so there's a very there is no chance, or we can say minimum chance that that circuit may dysfunction. Okay, so it is a high reliable, low power consumption, right? Again, size small, and since size is small, we need low power consumption. Almost all the ICs works on 5 volt, 10 volt, or 15 volt. Okay, op amp, that is operational amplifier circuit, works on plus or minus 15 volt. So that max to max between 0 to 30, every IC works between 0 to 30 volt. Okay, DC, right? Highest operating speed. Okay, so they are very fast in they are very function is very fast. Okay, high operating speed. So let's see the disadvantages of ICs. Okay, capacitor of higher value more than 30 picofarads cannot be fabricated. Okay, so if there is one circuit and that circuit consists of the capacitor, okay, and the value of that capacitor is more than 30 picofarad. Okay, so in that case we cannot fabricate, that is we cannot make the IC of that circuit. Okay, it's very difficult. High value of resistor or of more than 100 kilo ohms cannot be fabricated. Okay, so these are the disadvantage. So if the circuit consists of a high value of resistor, again it's very difficult to implement that circuit into IC, convert that circuit into IC. It is not possible to directly fabricate an inductor. Okay, so inductor is also difficult to make. Initial cost is high, right? Why initial cost is high? Because first time what we have to design the circuit. Okay, so the cost of that design and then fabrication, right? So first time investment is high, right? That is why we can say the initial cost is high. And once the masterpiece is developed, then it's very simple. Then its cost is very low. Okay, but the initial cost is high. Power dissipation, that is consumption is limited. Okay, if you operate high voltage, if you operate that IC on a high voltage, it may can burn or something like that. Okay, so it's the power dissipation is very limited. If, you cannot increase more voltage. Most of the many times what happen that IC get burned or get short circuit. So right, and the last one is ICs are very delicate. Okay, so they are very delicate, that is they are very what we can say, because the pins of that IC is very delicate. If that pins is moved, then the chances are there that it can break down. Okay, it may occur the breakdown. So we can say that IC is, because it's very small in size, and the pin of that IC is also very delicate. So if we will not handle with care, it may happen that the pins will be break. Okay, and once the pins will be break, it is of the no uses. Okay, so all these are the disadvantages of IC. So I hope you understand all the points. So right, so with this we end this chapter and topic. If you have any doubt, we can solve your doubt during the live lectures. Okay, thank you guys, take care.